Well, listeners, one of the films premiering at this year's Monster Fest is a great new Aussie film called Freelance. And we thought we want to get to know this film a little bit more, so we thought we would actually get the director of the film on the phone right now to chat a little bit about it. Welcome to the program, John.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Now, John, tell us a little bit about Freelance, because I've got to say, just reading through about this movie, and it's already one of those films that I want to see at Monster Fest. So tell us a little bit about Freelance and what people can expect from this film.
No worries. Well, Freelance is I guess it's a psychological thriller about a young freelance editor named Katie, who takes on a mysterious job via messenger. She doesn't know who's sending her these clips and these movies via the messenger service, so she pretty soon finds out that these snuff films that she's getting, they may or may not be real. So she goes down this really dark rabbit hole to find out the truth about the people that are sending it to her, and they pretty much start getting a bit of a grip over her life and keep forcing her to do things that no freelancer should ever have to do. So that's pretty much the gist of it. I don't want to give too much away, but yeah, it really gets into your mind.
So, John, tell us a little bit about how you became involved with this project, because, of course, the film is written by Mike Giabino. So tell us a little bit about how you became involved with this project.
Sure. So Mike Giabino is a New York-based writer, and he happened to upload this script to a website called The Red List. And I just was scrolling through the scripts that were there, and this one just happened to grab my attention. And I think I read it twice in one sitting, just one after the other, and that's when I knew that I loved it. My wife and producing partner Marlene, who happened to be asleep at the time when I read it, I literally, no joke, I kicked down the door, I woke her up, I'm like, you have to read this script. After some profanities towards me, she's like, all right, I'll read it. And then she basically said, all right, this is great, I love it, try and get the rights to it. So Mike was already in the middle of doing a short film version of the script. So I just got into contact with him and saying, hey, I love the script, how can we go about, licensing it from you? And, he pretty much saw the vision that I had for it, and yeah, I pretty much licensed it from him. I let him keep the short film rights for it, but I negotiated the feature rights for it very quickly, and yeah, that's how it all happened.
So what was it about the screenplay that grabbed you? I know sometimes when you read something, you just want to be involved with it, but what was it about the screenplay that just grabbed you completely?
There was a number of things. I think the first thing that grabbed me was I myself being a freelance editor. I really, really connected with the character. I connected with her plight and her struggles, and just, we've all been in a situation where we struggle to make ends meet at times, especially in this profession. So I really connected with her and what she went through. The second reason was because the genre itself, it had a very, how do I put this? The genre of films in the 90s, the thrillers that were coming out then were a bit more grounded and simplistic, and it just had that flavour to it. And I was like, well, I grew up watching those films, and I think being inspired by the films that I watched as a teenager, I can really make that kind of world come alive on a low budget using high production value. So the fact that it was just a standalone 90s noir thriller with modern technology really, really spoke to me.
So tell us a little bit about the casting. Like you said, the character was a character that you related to straight away. Did you kind of have in mind who you wanted to have play Katie straight away, or was that something that came to you later on?
No, so basically, as I was reading the script, it quite serendipitous. It all fell together quite well. As I was reading the script, I just happened to stumble upon an article online, something about the top 10 up-and-coming Australian actors, and Nicole Pastor was on there, having just come off The Cost and her performance in that. So I just reached out to a mutual friend and I said, look, I have to have a chat to this actress. I'd love to meet her. I'd love to have a chat with her. So he connected us, and yeah, as I was reading the script, I'm like, hang on a sec, she could play this. So I offered her the script, and obviously she absolutely loved it. And then from there, we got Jordan Fraser Trumbull as well, who was in The Cost as well, who absolutely blew me away with his performance, and I was like, well, I've got two really, really brilliant actors now to work with here. 90% of my directing is done. It was just me basically reaching out to them on Facebook Messenger going, hey, I'd love to have a chat about this project. What do you think? And after they read the script, they could tell the tone of it and the mood of it, so they jumped on board very quickly.
So tell us a little bit about the shoot. Like you said, this is a pretty intense film. What was it like on set, and how did the shoot go for you?
Oh, the shoot was so much fun. Look, it was 20 days. It was about 22 days of shooting. About 12 of those days were in an apartment, so we already pre-lit it pretty much, and we could pretty much move the camera around wherever we wanted. But it was such a fun shoot. The crew were fantastic. We just shot so quickly. We were shooting like 10, 12 pages a day, which is quite unheard of. But we planned it so well in pre-production that there was no stone left unturned. Just having a great crew and a really energetic cast and people that work with you when you're staying up really late at night, or you got really early shoots. Everyone was just really, really enthusiastic about it, and no opinion or suggestion was ignored. Everyone had the freedom to speak up and give their 2 cents to what we were doing, and it was a very, very collaborative feeling on set.
So I should also ask as well, what was Nicole like to work with? Like you said, this was an actress that you really wanted to get for this role. What was her reaction when you first went to her with this script, and what was she like to work with?
Okay, so when I approached Nicole with the script, she was just over the moon, because it's the kind of role that I think most actresses would jump on, because it's so demanding, it's so layered, and it's so complex and challenging that I think a lot of actresses would really, really want a meaty role like this. So she really stepped up, and she really pushed herself and dedicated herself, and it's a discipline that I've really seen in an actress. So I was completely blown away by her dedication. She flew down from Sydney to stay in Melbourne for 3 weeks to make the film. She even shaved off half of her hair as well, so she really dedicated herself. And Nicole is one of those actresses that is a 2-3 take person maximum. She really gets it. She understands the material, and I got to know her really well because we became friends as leading up to the shoot, even during the shoot. So we were able to establish such a shorthand between us, and because I got to know her, I can reflect back to stories that she told me about her personal experiences and things like that. So I was like, well, use that in this scene, or do you remember the time you did that, or how you felt about this? I go, use that in this scene. So she was very, very quick to adapt, and I think she felt the pressure of being the lead, because this is her first leading role. I think she felt the pressure of being the lead, and she really, really had a lot to prove. Not just to the film, but I think she had a lot to prove to herself, that she can do this, that she can rise to the occasion. And I'm happy to say that she did, and I can't wait for people to see her performance.
So, John, how do you feel about Freelance being part of Australia's biggest genre film festival? Are you excited? Are you nervous? How are you feeling?
I'm still absolutely blown away, because this is something that I've always wanted to achieve, and me and my team, our producers Marlene and Vicky, we're always striving to get noticed. We made a film in 2020. It was an Australian film, and just because of the pandemic, we never really got the recognition for that film that we set out to do. So I kind of feel like this is my redemption. But getting into something like Monster Fest has just been an absolute dream for me. I am a little bit nervous about the screening. I'm a little bit nervous about the Q&A and things like that. But I've got a lot of friends and family there, so I think they're going to make it a little bit easier on me, or harder. I think we can see how that goes. But yeah, I'm just very, very excited to screen it, and I'm so thankful for people like Grant for organising such an event and being such a filmmaker's organizer. He's just been with us every step of the way. It really puts me at ease. But I'm excited. I've never had a screening before for any film like this, and it's probably the biggest film festival that we've gotten into. So I'm really excited.
Definitely. Now, for all of our listeners out there, we will have the dates and times of when Freelance is screening at Monsterfest up on subcultureentertainment.com, so you'll be able to go on there, and there'll also be a link to buy tickets as well. John, I guess to finish off, what would you like to say to people who are heading along to Monsterfest to actually watch Freelance?
I think come down, have fun with us, come look at an original film that I guess, speaks to the mass majority of content creators these days. Everyone's got a camera these days. Everyone's online. Come down for a thrill and come say hello. I'd love to meet you, and hopefully you walk away with a scare or two.